the design and build of the HW Taunt from Shantyboatliving.com. Hey, subscribe for new videos. Really? Please.
Alrighty, let me introduce myself. I'm Brian, founder and editor of Shantyboatliving.com. It's really an online headquarters for the Shantyboat world. More than 800 Shantyboat articles there right now. And what this is a part of a series of videos on the building of my next shantyboat. I'm calling it the HW Taunt. More about that later. It's a 20-foot long by 6.5-foot wide tiny home on the water. You can follow along in upcoming videos as I share my goals, the design, the build, and eventually, of course, my adventures. A shantyboat is a tiny home on the water, a floating stealth camper of sorts. Instead of struggling to find a place to park your tiny home trailer, make the river your home, a place with fewer hassles about where to park, with lower to non-existent rent, and a place where you can drift with the current all day long and settle into a quiet anchorage at night. There's far less hiding, far fewer hassles from authorities, and the cost to build really is going to be lower too. Shantyboats began as an almost last-ditch way to afford not just a home but also a way to survive. Shanties and shantyboats. They'd use found lumber, of course they're home-built, with no concern for resale potential or marketability. And shantyboats can still be done on the cheap, really in the extreme. Okay, first off, there are always boats to be found for free. Boats that are abandoned at marinas and storage yards. They may ask for past due mortgage, but if you have a little money, if you have just a little bit of money, tell them. It can cost thousands of dollars to tow a boat away and cut it up, a last resort choice that happens more often than you might imagine, especially in a bad economy. And in some cases, it really may be cheaper for them to just give it to you. During the downturn of 2010, I asked a boat repair shop how they were doing with the economy. How was it treating them? I was told they had just taken in $15,000 that week on abandoned boats, all towed away from the marinas and just cut up into scrap and hauled to the dump in pieces. And marinas were paying $3,000 to $5,000 just to get rid of them. You know, there are also loads of affordable designs out there that you can build. I mean, some are more affordable than others, but there are some great, really affordable designs. We'll do some videos that cover each of those great designs in detail in videos yet to come. Well, as you'll see in later videos, you really can live cheaply as a shantyboater. Your little mini home, your tiny home floating on the water. Yes, some people still do turn to shantyboats as a way to live on a very modest income in beautiful surroundings. Speaking of which, you can live in a marina, but finding a live-aboard slip at times can be a challenge. For many, you might prefer to live in a secluded slough or river, a floating homestead in the swamps of the south, or keep moving through the small rivers and waterways all across America without a permanent residence. Here's a tip. You know, all shantyboaters need to keep a somewhat low profile. There are lots of laws that are a little less than shantyboat friendly, especially in some bigger cities. That's something, though, that we'll cover later in another video. For now, let's just say, find some secluded spots and just keep moving, every now and then. Don't be noisy, don't dump trash or sewage. And again, we'll have more on this in a later video. So the bottom line really is you can take on a shantyboat lifestyle as part of a new vision of how to spend the time you have remaining on this earth. This can be a pathway to a healthier lifestyle, mentally or physically. It can help you get out of the rat race, remove yourself from the coulda, shoulda, woulda. Take action, enabled by affordable tiny homes that float. Shantyboats can be your tiny home or your stealth van, but on the water. On your shantyboat, you'll taste the flavors in a different way of that stew that you made on your little stove in that snug, secluded harbor. Savor a book as you sit cozy and warm by the stove on a cold fall day. Write an email or letter to a friend. Take your time, savor it, live. That is shantyboat living. Well, there are lots of videos here in the works with reports on shantyboat designs, and you can follow along with my shantyboat build as it continues. Subscribe and you'll never miss an episode. Shantyboats is a tiny home, shantyboats for stealth camping. Depending on where you live, near protected water, then I say yes, absolutely, and what a home it is.